It's like they turn on the heat again. I guess rainy season is done. 3 days ago, it's like, or, and then, whoa, sweating. It's around 10 a.m. here, and it's already hot. But I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. So today I wanna speak a little into how I deal with things like breakup, sudden changes, how people act, react, do. Um, well, basically, what happens inside of me, and yeah, when I encounter a certain situation. So, if you're new to this channel, welcome to Studio Lightbringer. My name is Jeroen. In my videos, I talk into conscious awareness from lived experience, which simply means that I watch life unfold in real time. Thoughts coming, going, observing them, and just notice how life unfolds on its own. You don't have to do something for it or about it. These recordings, they sit nicely in a collection of standalone videos called While Shift Happens, and you can watch these randomly, forwards, backwards, sideways. Yes, you can watch them sideways. No, just pick one, follow your intuition, and see if it resonates. I will put a link in the description. No, it's not a doobie. No, it's just tobacco. It's mirrored. Royal bourbon. It has this, I don't know, this particular flavor. Not really bourbon flavor, no, but yeah, it does have a nice flavor. The main thing is, and I've been speaking about it lately a lot, about the stories we tell ourselves. And yeah, I just recently went through a breakup, still going on, because yesterday I found out she has moved to another place, and didn't say anything. No, still very angry. I don't know. I've from a mutual friend, I heard that she calls this divine rage, like feminine divine rage. Yeah, okay, whatever. If it rocks your boat, if it keeps you afloat, it's fine by me. Just don't get consumed by your anger. And then, I was sitting. There's a huge supermarket here, and when she left, she took all the cutlery from the kitchen appliances. I don't know. She's just, things I bought because they're very useful. And yeah, then she also stole my guitar or our guitar, whatever. I think it's a bit rude. It's not very polite. I mean, you could at least, you know, communicate about it. But yeah, so how do I deal with this? Well, first of all, I check in with myself. How does this make me feel? What do I feel actually? I noticed some thoughts like I really don't want to go into this discussion of yeah, it's my guitar. No, it's not your guitar. No, it's no. If you know me, I am a musician. I'm also a musician. I love playing guitar once in a while, and she is still learning. But yeah, of course, she had to take it because that little voice in her head said, "Yeah, it's mine. It's my precious." No, I sincerely think this is part of the "I will punish you for what you did to me" story. And I don't think she's fully conscious about it, but yeah. Oh, there's a fly in my drink. You taking swimming lessons, dude? Get out of there. Get out of there. I think he froze because of the ice cubes. Oh. I was going to show you, but yeah, he already dropped. He's still alive. Yeah. Akamana Ubud with extra ginger. So, for me, there's a difference between someone running a program you know, when you grow up and a parent or a caretaker or someone who should be responsible for you. Eh? As a small child, you're pretty helpless, so someone has to take care of you. But this someone learned from their parents and their parents from their parents and their parents from their parents and so on how to deal with things. So yeah, I can understand that if your baby is crying all freaking day and night, that you get annoyed and irritated a little bit. Or you're just on the phone having a nice conversation, and then your little toddler sits on your lap and starts demanding your attention. And I'm pretty sure you know like a million different examples. Because one thing we learn at a very early age, you need not only attention, but basically you need love. And yeah, the whole concept of love has been distorted for generations. People speaking about unconditional love. No, there's no such thing as unconditional love. Because it implies conditional love. And love has no conditions. That's what love is about. It is unconditional. So, kids, they learn I need attention. I need love. I need care. And yeah, if you don't get it, what do? You demand it. And there's millions of ways of how we learn to demand attention, how we learn to demand love, care. And yeah, if you can't get positive attention, then yeah, you just learn how to get negative attention, because it's still attention, right? And this is where the programming starts. This is where we, as a young child, you're just copying um, uh, behavior. So you watch your mom manipulate your dad into getting what she wants. Or you watch your dad ignoring your mom drinking his beer while watching football. And this is how we program ourselves. Slowly, bits and pieces, and we're very creative, so we stick one to the other. I need attention, so if I start crying, I get attention. If I cry and I don't get attention, I cry a little louder. Or even worse, if they keep ignoring you, you stop eating, or you just become very quiet. We have so many of these techniques, all based on survival, of course. But yeah, then you grow up, you grow older, you're not aware of all these tactics, and yeah, then you call a friend, and because you learned asking for help means punishment, means they have something on you. They will help you once, and then you have to pay back threefold, fourfold, 100-fold. Yes, because I did this one thing for you. What's it called? Extortion? Yeah. So then when you call a friend and you don't ask for help, no, you just, you play you run your program. Demand, demand, demand. I don't get what I get. I don't get what I need. I don't get what I need. Yeah. We can switch roles like yeah, like method actors. Just I think it's called borderline. You just switch character in between a sentence, like can you please? And you already noticed in the body language, or maybe you can hear it in their voice, or you can just sense it. You ask, but you already know the answer, so you start demanding, you start claiming, you start manipulating, you start threatening. If so what I do whenever this happens, whenever this pops up in my reality, I slow down. That's usually my first step. I slow down. Unless I'm really triggered, then sometimes, I say something and then I regret it immediately, because I didn't really want to say this. No, it's just a reaction. So I slow down. and I look inward. And usually just means being with myself. I don't need to fix anything. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to say anything. Because so often, when you when someone's talking to you and suddenly you go very quiet or just, you're not there. You just tuned out. Uh, if they even notice, because usually they just yap on, right? Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, if they notice, like, hey, you're not there. Are you still listening? No, I'm not actually. And sometimes I even mention it, like, please hold, wait a moment. And I go inward. And I do this sort of checkup. I check in, like I check in with myself, like, what's happening here inside? And it's not just feelings. No, it really is. It's not that I notice my thoughts or I notice my feelings. That's all part of it. I go into presence mode with myself. Presence with myself. Like, I briefly close the doors. Like, I'm here in my bubble, and what do I sense? What do I notice? And yeah, it helped me a great deal to ask myself the question, what do I need right now? And sometimes it just means, walk away, run away. I mean, if it's run away from, the fight, flight, or freeze, then yeah, do I really want to run away right now? Because I'm afraid I cannot stand my ground. Then usually I take this on as a challenge and I stand my ground. And yeah, sometimes a little bit, forcefully. uh, Blow up my ego a bit. It's helpful sometimes. I mean, there's no wrong or right. It's just sometimes it means following my instinct, and sometimes it means following my intuition. And yeah, they're not the same thing. If my instinct really clearly says run away, and I feel like, yeah, okay, actually that's a good decision. I just walk away. But yeah, what I was gonna say is when I go turn inward and I don't say, people can suddenly feel very uncomfortable, which I understand, but it's not my responsibility. At most, my responsibility is to say, okay, listen, wait a second, time out. And sometimes it means speaking up. Yeah, when she said, yeah, it's my guitar also. Well, actually, no, it's not your guitar. We bought it together. I paid for it, but we agreed to split the bill all the time. But at some point, that became, it felt like doing administration every month. At the end of the month, she wanted to compare all the bills and then, split the difference. But I was like, no, this. Let's just put what you have every month and I have every month together, and at the end of the month, if I have a little more than you, I will pay a little more next month. Or if you really must, at the end of the month, if I have a little more than you, I will put it in your account. No problem. Of course, she didn't agree because her method was. And I think it's also that she didn't really understand, like, or maybe, maybe, well, let's just say it's the amount is not true, but or correct. But let's say she has like 1,000 to spend every month, and I have 2,000 to spend every month. Then it would mean like every month I would pay 500 extra. And yeah, of course, that doesn't sit right with her. I don't know. I think it was the other way around. Maybe she was thinking, yeah, I have more than you, so I'll be paying more than you. Discussions. There's also a thing that I don't like at all. So I call my mom. She No, let's take someone else for example. So I call this friend. I haven't spoken with her for a long time. She lives in the building I used to live in, a community building with 100 people. And she still lives there, and she's always complaining about living there. And yeah, I told her so many times, like, so go away, move. Yeah, but, yeah, okay. Then stay, but stop complaining about it. I'm no longer listening to your complaints. I'm done with listening to your complaints. If you're not willing to change it, then don't bother me with your own decision. So we were talking, and at some point she says, yeah, but yeah, I know you in relationships, you don't really want to connect. You don't really want to commit. I, I, I think she said connect. You don't connect with people. Whoa, what are you saying? So I had to stop her because she just threw it out there like a fact. Yeah, yeah, you don't connect with people. Holy. So I asked her, what do you mean? Because in my experience, it's quite the other way around. I don't want to connect with people who don't really connect. I love, I enjoy, I prefer connecting with people who are or are also open to connection, like real connection, true connection, not like, hey, how are you doing? And as soon as you start talking, they don't care. So yesterday I was sitting at the supermarket. They also have a cafe there. I was enjoying my coffee, and a Grab driver, scooter driver, was in the little parking area, and I heard Bianca. And there she was. Backpack full of groceries and a juicer and some more stuff. And then I felt this resentment, this deep resentment, like, so you're using this divine rage bullshit. It's just spiritual bullshit to just steal stuff, take stuff that is not yours. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm very spiritual, so yeah, of course, you don't have any attachments to material stuff, so I can just take it. No, fuck you. That's just, that's just uh, denying to take responsibility for your own actions, which uh, influence, let's keep it neutral, which influences the other, possibly negatively. I'm, I, I mean, I really believe, I live by the notion of everybody is responsible for their own actions. Everybody is responsible for their own feelings and thoughts. Um, and yeah, people always come with this bullshit example of, yeah, so what if someone stabs you? Are you then gonna say, yeah, the hurt I feel right now is my own responsibility? No, because the action the other took is, you know, stabbing someone is your responsibility. Hurting someone on purpose or unconsciously, even though it's unconscious, it's still your responsibility. I never try to hurt someone on purpose. If I do it, without knowing it, if I'm not aware of hurting someone, yeah, I find this very difficult. Well, yeah, I think that's a good example. Well, it's the only example that comes up right now. Uh, when she said, okay, I will bring you the guitar, and when I'm back in the Netherlands, will you let me know so I can come pick up my stuff? And I got triggered. Uh, it took me a while to figure out what actually triggered me, but it was just the notion of her going to the Netherlands, which means she would be gone, like it would be finally over. And then, this program, which is, I think this is hurt on a soul level. So my soul, the soul that I picked before incarnation, has many experience, has lifetimes of experience with hurt, with someone leaving. So the fear of being left alone, the fear of being abandoned, it is, it's like a program of the soul. It's the experience of the soul. If I do this, then I'll be abandoned. But I'm not the soul. So I allowed the feelings after the trigger, right? So first she said the Netherlands thing. I got triggered and I said, well, you figure it out. Or yeah, whatever. I don't know what I said exactly, but and I noticed, no, this is resentment, and I don't want to feel these feelings. I don't want to feel those kind of feelings, the resentment, hate, yeah. Why? Because they're low vibrations, and these low vibrations, they pull me down. They weigh on me. So of course that's why I, you know, threw it out there. But yeah, then this just throwing mud at each other. It didn't feel right. So I apologize. Sorry I was triggered. Uh, I meant to say you can pick up your stuff anytime you want. And I wish you a good journey, and hope you will be well soon or anytime. And then on the balcony, I was crying and was feeling. And that's just the soul, you know. I think I couldn't get to this point, this uh, this step, because grief is part of the 5 steps you go through when you're in mourning. Anger, fear, denial, grief, and one more. Gratitude, I think. Or relief. Yeah, maybe relief. So when I was crying, felt good. Felt good to finally be able to release this. Because, yeah, of course I'm gonna miss her. So, okay, back to the grocery story. I felt resentment, and I also felt kind of sorry. Like, are you a sorry ass taking all these things and then buying new stuff? It's so childish. It's mine. But yeah, I guess it's just survival mode. I need this to survive. I don't have enough money, or I have very little money, so I will just take the stuff that we bought together, and don't feel bothered by it, ashamed or guilty, because I need it right now. Yeah, that's how the ego works, right? It's just the ego takes over. It says, I need this right now, and I don't care about anybody else. Yeah. That's not the way I want to live my life. No. So what I did, I started with understanding her situation. Okay, I understand you're going through a rough time. I don't agree with your actions. Let me put that out clearly. I don't agree with your actions. But yeah, I understand. I comprehend. I get it. Then there was forgiveness. Like, okay. Because I don't want to, I don't want these energies, these negative energies. No, it's theirs, it's hers, it's fine. You be angry, divinely angry. And then then I was okay again. Then I was like, okay. There was this really tiny thought. Yeah, she's walking all over you. And yeah, I think it was Tupac or Machiavelli who said, "Revenge is the sweetest thing next to getting pussy." And I always use this phrase to, uh, you know, laugh about the idea of taking revenge. Because I did notice a thought of how I would take revenge. No, 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 no. I remember the book, the Shambhala Warrior by Trugyam Trungpa, something like this. Chogyam Trungpa. Yeah, I think some Buddhist monk, and he explained the Shambhala warrior before a fight. He takes out his heart, his naked heart, and he lays it down in the grass in between him and his enemy, and he says, "If you want to stomp my heart, go ahead, win the fight." Wow. Yeah. There was more to it, but I always remember this. Just the feeling, like, okay, if this is how you want to win, then go ahead. That's beautiful, right? All right, enough. It's amazing to see myself go through all these processes and, you know, being okay with it. I do notice some, some survival stories, loneliness, for example. But yeah, that's not me. All right. See you